Good afternoon, everyone. It is August 4th, 2010. And this is a very special video report on the CMEs, the coronal mass ejections, the solar flares that are actually impacting Earth right now. No, it's not the end of the world. It is actually, though, the beginning of many changes coming to our world. On Sunday, August 1st, 2010, not one, not two, but 4 CMEs were detected being ejected from the sun, heading directly towards planet Earth. Beginning last night, we saw one flare hit the Earth, creating the aurora borealis effect throughout many parts of the country, many parts of the world. And in fact, tonight, on the 4th day of August, we're about to see more CMEs. The event is sparking controversy and debate around the internet. Is this the end of the world, or is this something completely natural? As someone that's been studying solar flares for about 2 to 3 years now, I feel it's important that I make this video the beginning of a series of videos about this very important subject, this change to our world, but not the beginning of the end of the world. There is some disinformation out there, and I got to clear up some things just to make sure people are aware of what's already been discovered previous to this particular event. I wrote an article called Sunspot Cycle 24 and the Earth's Weakening Magnetic Field about 2 years ago, noting and documenting the scientific claims and facts that the magnetic field has holes in it now, and that as recently as several weeks ago, they've detected major changes with our Earth's outer atmosphere, the thermosphere. And so what happens when we have changes to our magnetic field, the very thing that protects us from gamma rays, asteroids, things of that nature, is that we have a thinner veil. That means more things from the sun, different types of radiation, different forms of energy can actually get through, penetrate the Earth's magnetic field, and affect us. Now, in this video, I'm going to ask that you keep an open mind and start thinking about ways that we can be affected by solar flares outside of a negative way, outside of something that could be called disastrous, like a massive earthquake that kills millions of people. What could be some of the positive effects of solar flares? And if you look at different tribes throughout history, if you look at man's understanding of the sun, if you look at the very fact that man has had many sun-worshipping societies within it, it does raise the question, what is it about the sun and solar maximums that are looked on as a positive thing throughout society? Sun is constantly attributed to the very thing that gives us life, that allows the light to come into this, that provides the light in this world of ours, that produces the food, that gives the plants the fuel that they need, the energy that they need, photosynthesis, to keep our hearts beating. The important thing is to look at the future, 2012, with a more objective perspective than a doomsday end-all mentality, or the other extreme, the perspective that what's coming is not going to affect us at all, our world that is. And the reality is, yesterday's solar flare affected U.S. Bank. It's in the news. There already were bank failures today from a very small, considerably small Class C solar flare. And so the reality is, all of this stuff is coming up to a head, and what happened in the last 24 hours should not only be a warning to those of you out there that are dependent on your ATM cards and the grid, but also a wake-up call that this is in fact not a conspiracy theory. We are in fact guests on this planet that we choose to call Earth, and we are going through a natural cycle that actually has just begun. And so over the course of the next 3 years, this solar maximum, solar flare cycle, it's going to peak in 2013, is going to bring us a lot of change. I suggest that you look into areas and how it affects man's psyche, our moods, fertility rates, even cycles of war seem to be tied into solar maximum, which I find it really interesting how all of these tensions with China, the economic situation, but also the U.S. military being in the Yellow Sea and the Korean Peninsula, all the drumbeats that are beating right now as they try to direct the people to war, the Pied Pipers, that is, trying to direct the people into another crisis. We have to be aware of what's happening energetically above us. In the future, I'm going to have more videos that are going to be coming out, but be aware that moods are going to be slightly different during these times. Some people act like they're batshit crazy, and some people might appear to be a little bit more enlightened than the rest of the month because of the way that they're experiencing this energy, the charged particles really, that have entered our atmosphere. So I hope that you'll start taking a look more openly at Sunspot Cycle 24. And remember, always, above all, do your own research. If you really want to know what's going on with the sun and its effect on us, its effect on consciousness, we have to think outside the box of the mainstream media and start making our own decisions for ourselves. Thank you for watching.